Namaskaram, welcome to PGurus. I'm your host 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗚. There's an old adage that goes like, owner's pride, neighbor's envy. That holds good for Bharat as of now, because we kind of see our neighbors falling apart. Almost everybody right now. So there was Pakistan having a problem, Sri Lankan government fell, and then there was this junta taking over democracy in Bangladesh, the latest victim being Nepal, and somehow they are trying to stitch government there. But before Nepal, we know that there has been much more than what meets the eye in Bangladesh. For example, a landmark PIL has been filed in 2025 by the Human Rights Congress for Bangladesh Minorities around August 1st, 2025, seeking an urgent judicial inquiry into systematic sexual violence with a focus on targeting minority women and girls. The PIL was not the first one. It started almost a couple of decades back. In 2006, 𝗏𝗏𝗙𝗵's legal efforts started way back in 2006, and they started challenging, rather filing petitions against the program of BNP Jamaat coalition government. So this is way back in 2006, and it has not stopped after that, and it kind of took a mammoth proportion since the government fell last year. So this filing has been done by an advocate called Mr. 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗘𝗡𝗖𝗑, is a convener of 𝗏𝗏𝗙𝗵M Bangladesh National Chapter, who led the filing on August 1st, 2025. Along with the filing of the PIL, they also held a historic seminar at the Bangladesh Supreme Court Bar Association Hall, featuring testimonies from survivors, advocates, jurists and press on abduction, sexual assault, gang rape and mob violence that followed in 2006. Under the BNP Jamaat coalition, minorities faced mass rapes, murders and property pillaging. In fact, the 𝗏𝗏𝗙𝗏𝗏 Commission of 2009 described 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 atrocities worse than Polish war crime of 2000, rather World War II. Though the Awami League, which followed the BNP Jamaat coalition, tried to publish the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Commission report in 2014, they did publish, but after that they suppressed it to avoid, rather, a face-saving effort of portraying Bangladesh as a barbaric nation amid implications of state complicity in genocidal crimes. They had done it then. Things could have been much better now, but they left it for too late. Violence kind of reached pandemic proportions after that. In fact, as we know, reports from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, they kind of published a report which states that around 342 rape cases has been recorded in 3 months. 87% of the victims were minors under 18. 40 victims were infants or children under 6. This rising trend of gang rapes, mostly targeting minors, needs to be condemned by one and all. Most rapes go unreported, as you know, due to stigma, fear and distrust for minorities, religious bias in law enforcement, and with cases like headless bodies discovered hindering identification. So though 342 is the numbers that we have seen so far, it could have been more. There could be more numbers, but we may not know about them. The other thing being that the kind of violence that Bangladesh sees, one of them being the case of Chinmoy Krishna Brahmachari, is from ISKCON. He was imprisoned on fabricated seditions and murder charges for advocating minority rights. His bail has been dismissed many times. It still remained unresolved in the appellate division and stands as a stark symbol of state inaction state inaction and complicity. So the legal objectives of the PL filed by 𝗏𝗏𝗙𝗵 goes like, the government inaction against minority violences violates Articles 27, 28, 31 and 32 of the Bangladesh Constitution, failing to implement laws against sexual violence. A hospital refuses victim examination without police cases, violating Section 32 of the 𝗒𝗏𝗙𝗾𝗎𝗑𝗪𝗔𝗀𝗡𝗏 Ain 2000, leading to evidence loss, demand for at least one-stop crisis center or victim support center per district as a culturally sensitive shelter for minority survivors. Legal objectives follows that continues to be like call for a judicial or parajudicial commission under the Commissions of Inquiry Act 1956 to investigate cases since Jan 2024 involving again the abduction, rape, forced marriage and coerced conversion, automatic child protection under the Children Act 2013. For marriages involving girls under 18, overriding the Child Marriage Restraint Act 2017's Special Circumstances Clause. They also demanded an annual consolidated data on crimes against minority women or girls, victim identity safeguards and parliamentary reports. In fact, the PAL also sought reliefs on sexual violences, establish a judicial commission like the one we saw earlier to investigate only sexual violence cases as well as coercion targeting minority communities. Enforcing mandatory medical examinations of victim without requiring the filing of a prior police case. And in fact, they also want to establish a victim support fund to provide emergency medical care, counseling, shelter, and legal aid for survivors. In fact, the PAL also demands operationalization of minority-sensitive safe shelters by designating at least one in every district that we just saw earlier within 12 months' time. They also want to constitute a court-appointed monitoring committee, including the 𝗏𝗏𝗙𝗵 wants to be part of that, the representatives and the independent experts to oversee compliance, ensure implementation of the directives within 60 days, with regular complaints reports submitted to the court. So the legacy of 𝗏𝗏𝗙𝗵, as we said, it started almost a couple of decades back. They filed a writ petition number 3380/2006 under Article 44 and Article 102 challenging BNP Jamaat-led post-election atrocities, highlighting mass violence against minorities and seeking enforcement of fundamental rights. They also had another PL in 2008 challenging the Vested Property Act, enemy property law that we also have in Bharat, citing the discriminatory impact on minorities, especially Hindus. Hindus, as we know, suffered more after the 2024 fallout, violating equality, property rights, and international obligation. They also sought repealing and restoration of property. The next one, the 2023 PIL, they filed under Article 44 and 102 alleging state complicity in genocidal crimes under Rome Statute, Article 6 and 7. Presented evidences of decade-long atrocities and Hindu population decline. So the Hindu population was around 18.4% in 1961. That came down even almost by, you would say, some 40%. That has declined almost to 40% to 7.95% in 2022. So the decline was from 18.4 in 1961 to 7.95% in 2022. They also sought an investigation committee and a minority protection commission. So the next one, the next PL that we just saw of 2025 challenging false prosecution targeting minorities, the one like Chinmayo Krishna Swami of ISKCON, of almost review 15 cases implicating almost 5,700 people exposed arbitrary arrest, notably in Chittagong. We just spoke about Chinmay Krishna. In fact, his case was fabricated. Sedition case, they sought FIR reforms, officer accountability, compensation, and judicial inquiry as well. So the fact-finding data from 2025 PAL on false cases are around 10 cases in Chittagong, in which 493 minorities and 239 Muslims and 2,685 unidentified people have been charge-sheeted. And then in Gopalganj, there's one case, 55 minorities and 400 unidentified with 0 Muslims. Khulna, there's one case, 36 minorities, 25 Muslims and 150 unidentified. And Thakur one case, 31 minorities, 15 Muslims and 500 unidentified have been charge-sheeted. So a total of 670 minorities, 581 Muslims and 4,435 unidentified individuals were implicated, revealing how the use of vague, unidentified suspects is exploited to justify arbitrary arrest of minorities. So the vision, the transitional justice vision propounded by 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 says that the PLs, as part of a long-term strategy, beginning with accountability to ensure perpetrators of sexual and communal violence are punished, reparation and safeguards through institutional measures designed to prevent future abuse. Truth-telling and national dialogue aimed at rebuilding trust and strengthening democracy. So the PL is envisioned as a step in a long-term strategy to end the recurring cycle of violence, displacement and persecution faced by minorities. So they also call for action. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 invites lawyers, journalists and civil society of Bangladesh to examine findings, amplify the cause and support transitional justice, informs stakeholders and mobilize public opinion for a legal, moral and historical reckoning. The ultimate goal of this PL is to end the cycle of persecution against minorities, especially restore rule of law, which is not available as of now as we speak, and ensure protection of marginalized community in Bangladesh. So I hope this kind of throws light on what's happening, or rather what has been happening for a while in Bangladesh, though Nepal is the latest victim, but we should keep our eyes open on what's happening in Bangladesh, and we kind of try to provide you with information that is available to us through PGurus episodes. Thank you for watching. Do click the subscribe button and do share it with your friends. Thank you.